to postpone the controversial deductions of $480 million US dollars Paris Club refunds from state and local governments' monthly deductions. The Federal Account Allocations Committee yesterday disbursed a total of 739.96 billion naira September revenue among the three tiers of government. Recall the meeting between the federal and state officials ran into deadlock last Friday due to the controversy that surrounded the contentious $480 million Paris Club refunds. However, it was revealed that the federal government agreed to suspend deductions on the controversial Paris Club refunds, facilitating the conclusion of the FAC meeting yesterday. The 739.96 billion naira shared for the month of September was higher than the 696.9 billion naira distributed in the preceding month of August, but less than the 760.7 billion naira for July. And now the banking sector credit to the private sector increased month-on-month by 425.9 billion naira to 33.84 trillion as of September, up from the 33.4 trillion naira it was at the end of August 2021. The latest Central Bank of Nigeria Money and Credit Statistics posted on the regulator's website revealed that the report figure of credit to private sector is all-time high banks lending to real sector. Report says credit to private sector year till date has ordered 3.19 trillion naira, or about 10.41%, from 30.65 trillion naira in January to 33.84 trillion naira as of September. The APS Bank has noted the improvement in lending to the real sector. It's following the introduction of the 65% loan to deposit ratio in 2019. And away from there now, human capital development refers to the process of acquiring and increasing the number of skilled persons who have the education and experience which are critical for the economic growth of the country. Speaking to Business Breakfast earlier in the day, human resource professional Adeyemi Ajayi highlights the impact of a good human capital development on companies' productivity and, by extension, the economy.
Human capital in Nigeria, I think we're still struggling because the deployment of human capital has gone quite advanced. It's gone as far as people tech initiatives where technology has been mixed with human capital deployment for efficiency and effectiveness across the private sector and the public sector. But again, here in Nigeria, living the case of the COVID-19, which brought some kind of a setback for us. I think the deployment recently, in the past few years, has been quite challenging. First, because of the resources from the part of the government, and also the fact that businesses are more focused on profitability. Though within the small-scale business, the medium-scale business, it's gaining ground, it's becoming relevant every day. But again, if you look at the overall perception about it, there's still some, uphill climbing gradually.
And now the board of FBN Holdings PLC has approved the appointment of Mr. Nnamdi Okonkwo as its new group managing director with effect from January 1, 2022. The appointment is contained in a statement signed by Company Secretary Shaye Kosoko and posted on the Nigerian Exchange Limited website. The statement said the appointment followed notice of the retirement of the group managing director, Mr. UK Eke, with effect from December 31, 2021, having served for 2 terms. Okonkwo was the immediate past managing director of Fidelity Bank PLC. And on the international scene now, social media giant Facebook has changed its name to Meta. This comes as major rebrand following a spate of scrutiny the company faced over its business practices. The company said the new name will better encompass what it does now, a reference to its plans to invest in virtual reality. The rebrand is expected to position the flagship of Facebook as one of the several products under the parent company, Meta, following in the footsteps of Google, which set up a holding company after it in 2015. Meta will also be the holding company for Instagram and WhatsApp respectively. And in the stock market now, U.S. futures fell Friday and the Asian stocks were mixed after disappointing Amazon Incorporation and Apple Incorporation earnings, and as traders weighed bond market gyrations amid concerns of inflation and monetary tightening. Chinese shares rose while Japan fluctuated. European contract declined and Nasdaq 100 futures underperformed while S&P 500 counterpart. Apple and Amazon fell in extended trading, signaling a possible drop of more than $200 billion in combined market value when the U.S. reopens. And that dented upbeat views on company performance that earlier took Wall Street to a record close. The U.S. 10-year Treasury yields climbed, while the curve between 20 and 30 years has inverted for the first time since the U.S. government reintroduced a 2-decade maturity in 2020. Inflation pressures and the prospect of interest rate hikes are whipsawing bond market. And in the oil market now, prices edge higher but set for first weekly drop since August. Oil prices edge up on Friday but were headed for their first weekly losses in at least 8 weeks after U.S. oil stocks rose more than expected and Iran flagged it was resuming talks with Western powers which could lead to an end to sanctions. Brent crude futures rose 27 cents or about 0.3% to $84.59 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude futures were up 12 cents to $82.93 a barrel. The rally has likely neared its peak in prices while remaining elevated with softening in the near term, analysts at Fitch Solutions said in a weekly note on Friday. Both benchmarks, which touched multi-year highs on Monday, were on track to fall about 1% for the week, the first weekly drop in 10 weeks for West Texas Intermediate and the first in 8 weeks for Brent. The hit has come out of a 2-month rally stoked by tight gas and coal prices in Europe and China, which had spurred fuel switching in power generation to fuel oil and diesel while oil supplies were tight. U.S. oil stock rose much more than expected in the week to October 22 data from the Energy Information Administration showed on Wednesday. Well, that's it on business news at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Franco Malape. It's back to you now, Michael.
Many thanks, Frank. And Samson is up here with sport news.
On sports business at this hour, the Premier League has decided to meet with Amnesty International to discuss revised human rights complaints and owners and directors test following the Saudi Arabia takeover of Newcastle United. There was widespread criticism of the £305 million takeover, with the head of Amnesty International UK, Sasha Dimishok, describing it as an extremely bitter blow for human rights defenders. Amnesty wrote to the Premier League Chief Executive, Richard Masters, after the takeover took place 3 weeks ago, and for rules to include human rights violations. The body has previously highlighted how Saudi Arabia has an appalling record on the issue and says the rules on club ownership are woefully inadequate. But the Premier League says it has legally binding assurances that the country's public investment fund, which has an 80% control of Newcastle United, is independent and not dependent on the Saudi state. In other words, despite the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman being the chair of the public investment fund, it will not control the club, talking about Newcastle United. It is understood that the Premier League is willing to meet with Amnesty's concerns and conduct a review of its owners and directors test, as it often does after a takeover. The test assesses whether any criminal activity took place during the prospective owners' bidding and contract signing, but it currently does not signify or specify human rights violations and within its rules. And still talking sports business, we move on to broadcasting rights, where Sony Pictures Networks India has extended its partnership deal with UEFA for the next 3 years until the end of the 2023 and 2024 season. The renewal means Sony Pictures Network will be the official broadcaster, TV and digital, of premium UEFA contents such as the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Europa League, the UEFA Youth League, the UEFA Super Cup, and the newly launched UEFA Europa Conference League in the Indian subcontinent. As part of the deal, Sony Pictures Network will broadcast a total of 138 matches across UEFA Champions League and UEFA Super Cup, while 141 matches of Europa League and Europa Conference League, as well as 39 matches of UEFA Youth League, will be broadcasted each season. Select matches will be telecast live across Sony Sports channels, and all matches will be live streamed on its on-demand video streaming platform, Sony Live. And that's it on Sports Update. I'm Samson Oleide.
And that's the news. Thank you very much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Michael Nath.
Welcome to The Arena, your favorite sports show that gives you the best of sporting information as well as the commercial aspects of things. I'm Samson Oleide, your host for the show, and I'm not doing this alone. I've got a guest right here with me talking about Ojabowale Afolabi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
Yes, the show today, I'm excited about it because we're doing something a bit different. Yes, we're looking at MMA, mixed martial arts. It's a kind of sport that is becoming popular in Nigeria and Africa as a whole, courtesy of 3 men who are making us proud on the world stage. On the other side of the break, you get to know about the 3 men, and you also get to know about what MMA is and what it entails. Just stick around.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.